Okay, now what we're going to do in this third step of this series, so to speak, we are going to iron on the embellishments that go on this shirt. And it's really cute to add these trees. So what you do with the iron-ons is you peel off the white backing, and the back of the front here is sticky, and that's what's holding all your pieces in place. And there's heat-activated glue on the back of every individual piece. So whether these were loose in a package or in a design, they all have the same kind of glue on the back of them. So you take your designs, peel off the backing. Don't get so excited over your project that you forget to peel off the backing. That does not make you happy when you iron the design to the backing. Might as well hang it up for a wall hanging then. So we peel off the backing, put the trees where you want to. You can also pick up and move the trees if you don't like where you put them. Nothing is permanent until you iron it on. And I will show you that. Okay. And so I'm going to put this tree just up a little bit higher. And so these trees give this shirt, this mountain and tree shirt, more definition. Your iron is on a wool setting dry iron, not as hot as cotton or linen. This is a steam iron. The fewer the steam holes, the better. But just to tell you that it is a regular, inexpensive household iron. Okay. Your iron is going to sit here for a minimum on this wool setting dry for 45 seconds to a minute. This always makes people nervous. But two things are melting the glue: the temperature of the iron and the length of the time that the iron sits here. So if you get nervous and don't let the iron sit there long enough, you won't know if it's temperature or length of time that you need to adjust. But if you don't let the iron sit there long enough, absolutely, it's the length of time. Okay? Now what I told you about before, you can pick up the pieces, they stick to the sticky until you iron them onto something. So if you don't like where you put them, you can pick them up and move them 100 times. Makes no difference. Get everything exactly where you want it to be because you have lots of time to work with that. Okay? This is not heat setting the paint though. This is, I spray painted this t-shirt about 15 minutes ago, so this is not fulfilling that cotton setting at 10 minutes on each section to heat set the paint. So you still have to heat set the paint the next day. Okay? You're always ironing onto a hard, flat surface, not a padded ironing board. You don't want the pieces to sink into the padding. If you're worried about your tabletop or if it's Formica or something like that, put a wooden cutting board, just something hard and flat underneath the surface of where you're going to iron onto. Once the iron is sat there long enough, take the front half of your iron, press down in small sections at a time. If you look at the designs, in a lot of designs there are different size pieces in the designs. So if the iron is sitting up here on top of bigger pieces that sit higher, you've got to make sure that the littler, flatter pieces get ironed on as well. Okay, I'm not going to iron on the rest of the designs right now. I just want to tie this up so that you can see quicker how this works. Now, do you see that there's a little bit of bubbling in the plastic there? I'm hoping you can see that. You can see a little bit of ridges there. If your plastic stays perfectly flat after 1 minute and a wool setting, your iron is not warm enough. But make sure that it's plugged in. Make sure that it's turned on. Yes, these things do happen. And make sure it's not one of those on and off irons. They will turn themselves off after like 20 seconds. You got to pick it up, put it back down. You're not getting even, consistent time. So don't use one of those irons. Go grab a cheap iron at Walmart or something. They work great. What we're doing now is we're waiting for the plastic to cool. When the plastic is cold, the glue is cold. If you pick it up, move it off the surface of where you ironed it, it's going to cool off faster. This is already cooled off. So what I'm going to do is lay this back out again. And I'm going to peel up. When the plastic is cold, glue is cold. Peel off the plastic. Now, knowing that you and the iron are different, I'm not there with you to hold your hand and to walk you through these projects. You have to know how to check your iron-ons. So what I do is rub it up and down, back and forth, lightly at first, because if pieces are really loose and you don't want them flying across the room. And then you do it harder, and then you use your thumbnail. If something is loose, now or ever after laundry, I don't care if it's been washed 100 times, re-iron. If something is loose, it usually means that the glue hasn't been activated all the way, and you can go back and re-iron. Same thing if you buy jeans at the store and some of the little pieces come off the back pockets or something, iron them back on. Keep in mind when they iron on pockets and things like that, that you've got seams all around the four edges and a hem at the top. So the iron can't get good contact. So when people do pockets and stuff, I tell people, put a little piece of wood inside the pocket that'll raise the pocket up so that the seams are off down around the edges, and that will give you better contact for your iron to melt the glue on the back of the pieces. You're only melting glue, but if you don't melt the glue, the pieces won't be permanent. And it's your job to figure out what's going to get the iron the best to do its job for you. Okay, that's it for this lesson. Thanks for watching.